Hey guys!
Hey guys!
Welcome back to another video. We are actually at Hershey, Pennsylvania right now. Will's been here for a couple days and I actually just got here tonight. And if you guys don't know, we are working the Hershey RV Show, so we'll be there with Matt's RV reviews. We have a big orange tent. You can't miss us. But we are putting out, Will and I are going to be putting out a video every single day of the show. And so we thought the best way to kind of start off with the videos, especially for people that are planning on attending, is to give you guys some do's and don'ts for RV shows.
For sure.
And this video is more specifically if you're either planning on coming to the show and buying an RV, or you're like seriously narrowing down between two units and you need to see them in person. So more that serious buyer. If you're a while out and you're just kind of coming to browse RVs, this video might not be
the perfect
as ideal for you. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, we're gonna jump right into the do's and don'ts, and hopefully this video can be helpful for you if you're coming to the show this year.
Of course, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start it off with a do, but the way that we're kind of structuring this video is we're gonna do like do, don't, so we'll alternate it.
Yeah.
Just to, mix things up a little bit. So the first do is to get to the show early. I really can't recommend this enough, especially if you're a serious buyer. The mornings are much more calm, and especially, like I said, especially if you're looking to buy, the salespeople, the factory reps, they're rested up, just had their breakfast. They're not tired from walking around all day, standing around and answering questions and everything. So if you can, and we always tell people, even for our tent, we're not really selling anything, but just, to get some time to be able to talk and be able to take pictures and stuff. It really helps to get there early and, just when there's less people there.
Yeah, and I could even see structuring your day where you like get there early, kind of walk around when maybe it's not as crazy and when it's not as hot yet.
Right.
And then maybe like leave, grab some lunch out. There's tons of good restaurants in Hershey, and then come back later in the day. And that kind of coming early gives you the opportunity to do that.
Yep, exactly.
So the first don't that we have is don't go on the weekend if crowds overwhelm you, guys. Like,
especially for the 2022 year.
Yes, or for 2021.
I mean, sorry.
So, we've been to Hershey shows before.
Yes.
Saturday especially, but also Sunday is very, very crazy. We've heard this year, if you're coming this year, 2021, it's even crazier. So if you guys probably already maybe have your plans, but if you're already in the area and you weren't planning to come till the weekend, I would definitely recommend coming during the week. It'll just be, it'll be a lot less insanity, and you'll be able to talk with us and also like the salespeople and the manufacturer reps a lot more than you will be on the weekend.
Yeah, I've heard that they're expecting this Saturday to just be insane. They're saying just a line to get in the door. They're like, hey, come early because you're gonna be waiting just to get. They have security with metal detectors and everything there. Then you got to get you have to buy your tickets ahead of time, but you got to go through the line to scan it, I guess. And then just trying to figure out where everything is. When you first walk in, that's like a busy area as well, so you kind of got to scoot around all that.
Yeah.
Figure out where you're going. So, and like I said, this Saturday they're saying it's just going to be crazy busy.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared for how intense it's going to be. So that's definitely an important point. And then the next do is to study the map and come with a plan.
Yes.
So if you guys don't know, I'm gonna have a little video pop up here, but there is an app for the Hershey RV Show. I was browsing it earlier, and it's really helpful just for kind of planning your day. So, but before you guys come to the show, I would recommend getting on there. They have a list of every manufacturer, every dealership, every vendor, and you can actually, at least for the manufacturers, I believe, but I almost think for everything, you can almost like add things to your to-do list. So if you want to hit certain brands, you can add it to your to-do list. They have a whole map on there, so you can navigate around the show. If you're a serious buyer and you're looking, between 3 motorhome brands, know where they are on the map before you get here, and plan where you're gonna go so that you can just maximize the time that you do have.
Yeah, and I can add to that, yesterday was like day one, or they call it education day, and Matt and I were trying to get videos done, and I feel like even us as like industry experts, we know what all these RVs are. We know how it's kind of laid out, by manufacturer, parent company, whatever it is. And I think we probably spent like the first hour and a half just like it was like you walk in and it's just like confusion.
Yeah.
You know, all the brands and everything, and it was still hard.
Yeah, it's a lot of RVs here, guys.
There are.
I drove by earlier. They pack them in, so
Yeah.
so it just helps if you kind of come in, and the app just kind of helps you to plan it, so you can see even the vendors too. I thought it was nice that like if there's any RV gadgets you're interested in, they're all in there as well. So the second don't is obviously if you're watching this, you might be a serious buyer, so this doesn't apply to you.
Right.
But if you are coming and you're just kind of browsing, maybe trying to narrow down what type of RV you want, just kind of seeing what's out there. We used to be in RV sales, and especially at the Hershey Show, things are crazy for salespeople.
Yes.
And so what we recommend is, if you're not seriously looking at a unit, don't spend a lot of a salesperson's time. It's fine to, maybe to ask questions and stuff, but if you know that there's like no chance that you're buying from them, just be
Don't
respectful.
work up numbers.
Be respectful to salespeople, because they are here to make a living, and it's fine if you ask them a couple questions. But honestly, we'll talk about later. There's other people there that might be better if you just have questions about a product. But with a salesperson, don't be scheduling test drives. Don't be taking a lot of time, because this is a big event in their like career, honestly.
For sure,
and so
yeah.
you just don't want to take it for away their time that they want to work with serious customers that might be buying at the show. But if you are a serious buyer and you possibly are buying at the show, it's fine obviously to take the time with the salesperson.
Absolutely. If you're very serious about buying, or if you're serious about buying, definitely talk to them. Definitely get the information you need. And if not, feel free to ask questions. But just be respectful and everything of their time as well.
Just respecting other people's time.
Yes, I'd like to add one more thing. If you do spend a lot of time with the salesperson, I recommend taking a picture of their business card in front of that RV that you liked, and make sure if that is the RV and you like that salesperson, to go back to them.
Right.
Yeah, that's a really good tip, because that's something else we're going to kind of talk about that's relevant. Actually, that leads us into our next do, so that's really good, because another do that we wrote down was to take notes, take pamphlets, take photos, because I'm telling you guys, if you're coming and you're looking at a lot of units, you will get overwhelmed very quickly. You will forget what you looked at. You'll forget the salesperson's name there. You'll forget the name of the unit.
You'll forget what even unit it was.
Yeah, like it's just insanity. So what I would recommend is, maybe doing a note in your phone, or if you're old school, bring a notebook even. Go on the notes app on your phone or whatever. Take a photo of the unit you just looked at. Maybe put it on the note and like write. these are the things we liked. We talked with this person. Maybe put in the picture of the salesperson's business card, like Matt was saying.
Right.
But whatever that looks like for you, documenting like your day there and what you did will help. Especially if you are buying. You guys might be like coming multiple days. So day one might be like browsing and talking and the salespeople and nailing down which RV you want. So when you come back to the hotel room at the end of the night, it's really helpful if you have all those notes to look back on, because you'll get back, you'll be tired, and you're like, what did we even look at today? Like, I forget. So,
absolutely. Okay, so another great option, if you're really interested in a unit and you can't find a salesperson, or you have a lot of questions about it, and it looks like the salesmen are tied up a little bit, definitely don't be afraid to talk to the manufacturer reps. Most of them are very nice, super helpful. Now, granted, take what they say with a grain of salt, because they're trying to sell you that one product. That's the product they represent. They only get paid if that product sells. Totally fine. Just remember that they're actually going to be more of an expert on that product as well than a salesperson who's selling 15 different motorhomes or 50 different motorhomes and is trying to remember all of them. So sometimes it can be a little bit better to talk to a factory rep to get started, get those really technical questions answered, and then move to a salesperson. Again, the factory reps are great, very knowledgeable. Just remember, they're trying to sell that one product.
And I almost think of the manufacturer reps as being there a little bit earlier in the stage, and like kind of that like education stage. So if you are just coming and just like browsing units, if you're interested in a couple of them, reps are great to talk to. If you're there at the show and you're trying to narrow down like between a couple different brands and like pick a unit, that can really help, because you're getting like those last like little nitty gritty things that you might be comparing on. The salesperson is now there when you're kind of ready transfer into like the buying process.
Right.
And so just kind of keep that in mind.
Or if you want opinions about other units compared to that
that's
one.
True.
You know, a salesperson could be great for that.
Yeah.
You know, again, the factory rep's going to be on the one unit. Salesperson's going to have tons of units. You know, they can sell you and compare the units and everything.
Yeah, it's almost nice to hear the manufacturer reps like give their sales pitch on the different ones, and then go to a salesperson and kind of get their take. Like, okay, I talked to the manufacturer reps. I'm looking at these units and kind of get their opinion, and maybe they can kind of help you narrow down on one.
Right.
Okay, so the last do, and this one is very important if you're planning on buying at the show. You need to be ready to negotiate. And so I know negotiation is really scary, but honestly, if you go in kind of knowing what you want and kind of having some of those negotiation strategies in mind, it's going to be what gets you the best deal, honestly.
Absolutely.
So if you're coming to get the best deal that you can, be ready to negotiate. And an important point is that dealers, so the way the Hershey RV Show works is, every brand that is here, so Winnebago is here, and they're represented by one dealership, typically. And so if you're shopping for a Winnebago, and you're going to be talking with a salesperson at that dealership, well, keep in mind that the other dealerships that are representing different manufacturers there, they might also sell that Winnebago brand, and so don't be afraid. Like, if you get a price from the dealership representing Winnebago, don't be afraid to go to another dealership and have them try to compete for your business. Yeah,
ask them if they sell Winnebago.
Yep.
And if they do, ask them, again, see if they can beat that price.
Yeah.
Okay, to add to that a little bit, Jen talked about the negotiating and stuff. Again, don't be afraid to negotiate. And like she said, it is scary and everything. I've been on that, been on the other end as a salesperson, and you get all kinds of offers and all kinds of numbers thrown at you. It's not personal. It's just, we get it. You're trying to get a great deal, and, the dealership's obviously trying to make money, and it's just about meeting in the middle somewhere, wherever we can. So don't be afraid. Again, if you're at a dealership and they make you feel bad about your offer and whatever, just don't even bother with them. You don't want to work with a dealership like that. Most of them are going to be understanding and receptive. Granted, they are going to push back, of course. But they want the sale. They're going to try to make everything work. So don't be afraid at all to negotiate.
Yeah, and honestly, if you kind of know what brands you're looking to possibly purchase, or if it's one brand, it's helpful to kind of come in maybe like looking up the MSRP, just to have a sense of like what's that starting point with price. This year it's kind of hard because pricing it's not going to be in that easily in that 25 to 30% off MSRP that it typically could be. But it's just good to know that starting point. What's a fair price? And so like he said, you're gonna maybe start low. The dealership's gonna start high. You want to meet in the middle. The biggest thing is be respectful to your salesperson. Be nice, and that salesperson is gonna want to earn your deal, hopefully. And then if they don't, like you said, find a different dealership. I mean, a lot of those dealerships at the show that are representing one brand sell a lot of those brands that are there. So just don't be afraid to shop around.
And Jen brought up a good point. It is very important, I think, to be nice, respectful, and everything to your salesperson. When I was a salesperson, I had nothing to do with the numbers other than a middleman. And so, we're just kind of in the middle trying to help make it work. And to be honest, a lot of times I was really trying to help the customer get closer to their number than the dealership. You know, at the end of the day, the dealership does write the check to me, sign my paycheck, but I don't get a paycheck unless the customer's happy either. So it's about making the customer as happy as you can. Yeah.
I mean, as a salesperson too, it's like at the end of the day, I want to have customers that have a good relationship with me and are happy with me, because if I ever work for another dealership, like I want to be able to call that customer and them want to work with me because they got a good price and I help them. So so I think I would say a lot of salespeople probably have that mentality. So just treat them nicely, treat them with respect, but just don't be afraid to negotiate is the main point.
Okay, so for our last point, it's going to be a don't, and that's going to be our recommendation is don't think that you're going into this gonna buy the unit and drive away with it that same day. So RVs aren't quite like cars. Even if you go into a dealership, usually they like a day or two to be able to look through everything, make sure it's all working, clean it up, you know, get it ready for your pickup and everything. And they might have to order parts and whatnot. So, especially at a show, they're going to have to finish the show out usually before they can deliver that unit. So, again, just go into it with that proper mindset that, you know, give it a couple days after the show and then, you know, you'll be able to pick up the unit. Now, in this market, it's even more difficult. So, you also have to be wary of buying a show unit. So a unit that's right there in the show in stock, because they're all, you know, it's gotten so much foot traffic, and, you know, being at shows, I've seen some crazy things you probably don't even want to hear about with, you know, kids and even adults running through units and breaking things, being crazy and breaking things, right? If you do buy a show unit, it's very important to go through everything with a fine-tooth comb and just make sure that everything's buttoned up and cleaned up nicely. Now, in this market, it may be beneficial to buy a show unit because it's going to be in stock. Now, the only way to do that is if you're there Wednesday and maybe Thursday.
Maybe Friday.
Yeah, but even that's starting to push it.
Yeah.
But if you're there on the weekend, you know, there's probably no hope of getting an in-stock unit.
Yeah.
You know, after probably Friday, you're definitely going to have to be ordering. So again, pros and cons. You know, the pro is if you need a unit now, probably get there early, buy an in-stock show unit, and just make sure things are buttoned up. You know, and on the flip side is if you're okay with ordering, go to the show, look at the unit, and order based off of that.
Exactly. And I think this year in particular, like Will kind of touched on, it's going to be not, you know, 8 to 9 times out of 10 you're going to be ordering.
Right.
There's just not a lot of inventory. So if you're watching this video, you know, in a future year of the show, or really any big RV show, it might be a little bit easier for you to get a show unit. But in particular, the 2021 Hershey RV Show will be a challenge.
It will. Yeah, and like Jen said, the market's always changing. That's how it's been for, you know, about a year and a half now, maybe a little bit less. You know, and like she said, by next year's Hershey Show, could be the complete opposite.
Yeah.
We never know.
Yep.
So,
it's constantly changing.
It is, that's for sure.
But we really wanted to get this video out for you guys. You know, if you're coming to the Hershey RV Show, hopefully you can watch this ahead of time and kind of come in a little bit more prepared. So if you guys enjoyed this video and found some value, please like and subscribe. So we typically do, if you haven't seen our channel before, we typically do travel vlogs. But we are here working the Hershey RV Show, so we decided why not make like some helpful videos. So the rest of the week up until Sunday, we'll have more videos coming out. We're going to be doing a whole tour of the show, showing you guys all the brands that are here, and also like kind of showing you some of the cool RVs and other like RV gadgets and stuff. So I'm really excited for that. So definitely, you know, subscribe if you want to see all those videos. And then the following Sunday, we'll be back to the regular vlogs.
Cool, yeah. And if you guys are planning on coming to the Hershey Show, definitely stop by our tent.
Yes.
Again, we're going to be at the Matt's RV Reviews tent. We're just going to be there, you know, hanging out, answering your questions. We'll have stickers for sale, and, you know, we'd love to meet you all.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, and you can't miss us. We're close to the Winnebago area in a big orange tent, so definitely be on the lookout for us, and we hope to see a lot of you guys there.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See ya.
Bye.